Tony, let's start it off.
Yeah, Carlos, really, really impressive performance from Nalyssa Smith tonight. Filled up the stat sheet, was all over the floor. What did you think of her performance, and what stood out the most to you about the way she was able to play?
Nalyssa has been putting in a extreme amount of work the last week or two, and it just shows on the floor. She came in very focused and determined today to make a difference, and she just showed it. She was one of the first people in the gym, the last people to lead today at shoot around, and we've been having just very detailed conversations about her being a professional and making sure that she's making an immediate, huge impact for our team.
How did you feel as the coach down the stretch? You guys didn't give up a bucket for the last minute and a half. When the game was on the line, the team was able to get some stops and get the win.
Well, I tell you what, it was just it was about grit. You know, we came in the huddle and we talked about what it was going to take to actually win a game like this. I mean, Minnesota is a hard place to come in and win. Again, sometimes records doesn't reflect the type of team. I respect Cheryl's teams at all times because she's always had, great Minnesota culture, and it was just one of those things. Hey, a lot of things have to go right for you to walk out of here with a win. So we wanted to make sure that we were positive, we were focused, and determined in that area.
What were you told during that technical foul sequence? It seemed like Powers was shoving a lot of players, but 2 fouls, technicals on your team was confusing, at least from our seat watching on TV.
Well, I mean, that was a tough pill to swallow. I have to be honest with you because, obviously we seen one thing, and I'm sure the fans seen another thing. So it was a very tough pill to swallow. We thought that it should have went more our way, but obviously the referee seen something different, and we were not happy at all about it. But again, it's next man up. It's time to move on and play. So I just tried to preach that to my team.
Zion.
Down the stretch, Tori was able to hit those 2 clutch 3-point shots, and you guys really rebounded. We talked about 3-point shooting last game. You guys were able to shoot very well tonight. What was the importance of getting those shots to fall and just her hitting those shots late in the clutch?
Well, Tori is just, she's one of those big-time players, and she has the ability to step up in big-time moments, and she's always had that in her game. She was one of those players that asked for the ball in the huddle, and we try to space the floor and give her the opportunity to create and have catch-and-shoot opportunities, and she was in the right place at the right time, and she's never hesitant when it comes to taking her shot. So it was great to see a couple go down for her, and it was great to see her prepared when that opportunity arrives.
What do you think led to you guys shooting so well from 3 overall tonight?
I think we were in tune with each other before this game. Obviously when you're going into a game and we've had a losing streak, we looked at each other and said, hey, tonight is a night where we really want to focus and we want to be determined to come out of here and give it our best shot and make sure that what we've been working on and some of the things we've done as a team reflect on this game. And I think we came together as a team in so many different areas, from communication to our passing ability, our ability to get down the stretch defensively and communicate in both areas. And then just shooting a 3-point shot. I mean, it was a matter of us being in rhythm and focused when it came to touching the paint and getting kickouts. So it was good.
Tonight was another third quarter that was iffy. You guys struggled in the quarter, but this time you were able to respond and work your way back in the fourth. Why were you able to recover from that poor third quarter and still ultimately win?
It's funny. We actually talked about the third quarter before we went in the third quarter, and we tried something a little different tonight as far as going into it, but obviously it wasn't super effective. But I tell you what, my team is really getting it. They're really understanding what it takes to compete in the third quarter, and I suspect that they are in a place where they really understand the significance based on some of the things that we did today. It wasn't the greatest, no it wasn't, but it was definitely improvement, and that's what I try to preach to my team, making sure that we improve in different areas.
It wasn't pretty, but what is the significance of you guys being able to snap this losing streak?
I mean, it obviously gives us confidence because no one wants to continue a losing streak, but at the same time, it lets us know that hard work does pay off, and we have been constantly grinding and pushing and understanding and learning different things in different areas that allows us to say, okay, It's a lot of things that are making sense when it comes to our offensive schemes, our defensive schemes, and it makes us, understand that it can be done at a high level as long as we all buy in and we're on the same page.
Gabby?
Yeah, Coach, just, those last couple minutes with just your guys' defensive effort. Obviously the third quarter, you guys did give up a lot of points, but then to come back in that final quarter, especially after that series of technical fouls, like what were the conversations maybe in the huddle or maybe that you just heard on the court that really kind of locked you guys in on that end?
Well, we always talk about that. As a player myself, I was one of those guys that was laser focused and laser locked in. And I try to put that on my team. I try to let them understand that at all times you have to be focused at a high level, no matter what. It's the next play, let's keep going. Next man up if someone is injured, if someone's out of the game, fouled out. And we try to preach that in our culture. We want to make sure that everybody understands that it's never about the moment. Okay, the moment is over, the moment has passed. It's time for us to make these free throws or get a stop or make the next play. So a lot of our players really truly understand that. We practice that way, we play that way, and we make sure that that's one of the things that we preach on a daily.
Nalyssa had that save with, I think, about 43 seconds left. She kind of cuts through the entire defense to get that ball knocked off the one of Minnesota's players. Just that type of awareness and effort from a rookie, like what was going through your mind at that point when she makes that play?
I tell you what, it's more of her development for me. I can't say 3-4 weeks ago Nalyssa would have made that play. I think she's coming into her own as a professional. I think she really understands the pace, the speed, the physicality of the WNBA. And sometimes it takes a person a little longer to get acclimated to the WNBA game or the professional game. And I feel like she is on the way to be exactly who she wants to be in this league. Now, it's going to take hard work. It's going to take determination and passion, desire, focus. But she will be one of those players that understands and learns from each game. And I think this was one of those games. But again, she's put in a lot of work these last few weeks to really understand, from film to being on the floor with me, being on the floor with our assistants. And I just really think it's paying off for her. So that was her awareness in that situation.
And then Kelsey had obviously ended in double figures still, but kind of did it a little quietly tonight. But then D-Rob kind of felt like she stepped up just leadership-wise throughout the entire game. I mean, having someone out there like that, I know you've talked about it before, just her being that veteran on the team, but what did you see from her tonight that really kind of controlled you guys down the stretch?
I think D-Rob, I just hugged her before I came in here because, she's the ultimate leader. One of the things that she always talks to me about is, when situations come up in the game and she has, a younger group that's around her every single day, she tries to give them small jewels, especially having so much experience in the WNBA. So she tries to talk to them on a level to where they'll understand it eventually on how this league is ran and some of the things that has to be done during certain times of the game. So that's why I was extremely comfortable with having her out on the floor for the majority of the second half, because she makes great decisions and she does things that veteran guards do in situations that can help your team, your ball club win.
Gutty win tonight, man. We talked earlier,
and
you said it was more about the patience and the process. But at the end, it was just about who wanted it more. Just real quickly, the 2 threes by Vivian's, were those called plays or just running the offense? And how does it feel to get that monkey off your back, the losing streak?
Well, first, those 2 plays were obviously they were called, but they were kind of broken plays as things break down. We always teach that secondary set where if I touch the paint, I'm able to kick out to one of my shooters. And you have to be prepared to focus on making shots, knocking shots down, and being ready to read closeouts and make the next play, make the next pass. So those were situations that she was put in because she was definitely one of those circled young ladies on a scouting report. I'm sure Minnesota had her circled as a shooter, so she was able to get open, get free, and that was, kudos to our guards being able to create. So to answer the question, it wasn't a necessarily set play for her to get that, but she was able to get it off of kind of our draw and kick stuff. So that was good. And to get the monkey off my back, obviously that feels good. That definitely feels good, but I'm the type of guy that, hey, I'm ready to work in 20 minutes. I can't wait to watch film. I can't wait to get better. And hopefully, we can build on this. And, it's a young team. It's very uplifting for our team to get a win and feel good about, obviously going home and being able to get a good couple days of practice before we play again. So we can take a look at this film, and it'll be something good that we can really just build on as a team.
Big win tonight. Nalyssa Smith, she's going to be a star, no doubt. Good luck on the home game on Wednesday, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we'll get started with questions for D-Rob. Tony, let's start.
You bet. D-Rob, what did you think of Nalyssa Smith's performance tonight? Career high points, tons of huge plays. As a vet, what did you see from her in this one?
Yeah, we know that Liz can do that. She's really a dog, and she comes in, she works hard, and I'm glad to see that she was able to be big for us tonight. So we just fed off her energy, kept going to her. We felt like she had a little bit of advantage with her matchups, and so that's what we trusted her with the ball, and she made a lot of big plays.
Close game late, you guys got to stop every possession for the last kind of 2 minutes or so. What does that say about the growth of this team, considering how some of these fourth quarters have gone for you guys recently?
Yeah, well, I think when we lock in and really focus, you see what we can do. It's a great team. Obviously, Cheryl is a great coach, and they really execute well. Having played for her and know how much you practice, the execution part of it for us to get stops is really big, especially for how young we are. But like I've been saying, we're growing every single game, and I'm proud of our effort tonight.
I know you were just kind of walking away, but what were your thoughts on the technical foul sequence there in the third quarter?
Are you trying to get me fined, or?
I am not trying to get you fined.
It was just interesting how we got pushed and they ended up shooting. So, yeah, very
Do you
interesting.
feel like they gave you guys energy or momentum or anything like that? The game kind of turned from that point on.
Yeah, well, I think it fired us up a little bit. We're not punks, and we're not going to take that. And so, we had to make a change. Elevate our energy. But stay composed at the same time, because that can obviously rile people up and stuff like that. But I was proud of how we turned the corner.
Zion.
The third quarter was a struggle again for you guys today, but this time you were able to turn it around and turn it into a win in the fourth. What went into you guys being able to respond in the way you did?
Yeah, obviously we know we had a not so great third quarter again, but we knew that the game was still right where we needed it to be. I think it was a 3-point game going into the fourth or something like that, and so we were close. It wasn't like we gave up. We're down 10 or something, fighting back. So we knew it was just a matter of a couple plays, and we knew it was going to be tough to win here. Obviously, their crowd is always great. It's definitely a playoff atmosphere all the time. But like I said, I think that we locked in when we needed to in the fourth. Obviously, it still wasn't perfect, but we made a lot of plays down the stretch.
As a team, you guys had been struggling with 3-point shooting coming into tonight, but tonight you had a great game shooting. Why were you able to get so many shots to fall?
Yeah, well, I think we were just aggressive. We got into the paint. We knew that they were going to collapse, and the kicks were there. So we just made the easy play, the simple play.
As the point guard, do you feel like that's on you to get those quality looks from beyond for the team and for yourself?
Yeah, well, I think I got to watch the flow of the game, see how defense are guarding, even with the scouting report, always being 2 steps ahead and being able to, tell my teammates what I see and what's been working. And so when things are working, we continue to go to them, and if they're not, then we change it up. But I think, obviously, Kelsey getting downhill, kicking to Tori was huge tonight.
Gabby. Gabby there? Okay. Dion, anything for D-Rob?
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, D-Rob.
Thank you.
I think tonight was your best game tonight, just physically, as far as your movement, your flow, the way you played, your contributions. How did you feel tonight? Number one, and then number two, you know, losing streaks can break teams, but it seems like you guys are really close knit. How's it feel to get off the losing streak tonight and get ready for a home game?
Yeah, well, I wanted to, come in and do whatever I could to help our team win. We knew that we needed one. Basically, that's it. We needed a win, and we were going to do whatever it took. And so to come in here and play like that and kind of give the team an extra burst of energy, it felt good. I felt great tonight physically, so I just took that and ran with it, really.
Now we get to come. Okay, thanks a lot. Sure.
Of course.
Okay,
Let me try one more here. Gabby, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. We sat here a couple games ago talking about how, you guys felt you were playing a little soft. I think that really was the complete opposite tonight, and it felt like, especially in the fourth quarter, your guys' highest intensity came out. What have the last couple days, maybe week of practice, or just conversations been like between you guys?
Yeah, well, I think, we know that it starts on the defensive end, but we also know that there's another level of energy and effort that we have to give if we want to win games. And I think that's been the biggest conversation that we've been having, is that there's another level to us. And I think that, we started to show glimpses of that tonight. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but the effort that we gave, I think was completely different than the effort we had against New York second half. And so I think, the losing streak was something that obviously you don't want to think about, but you have to at the end of the day. Like we feel like we're giving games away, and tonight we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to compound another loss, and so we made plays on the stretch.
When obviously, Kelsey had another quieter game, she's, somehow still fights her way into double figures, but it seemed like you kind of had more of that, command and leadership role on the court today. Coach Knox talked about how comfortable he is having you in that position, and, just your, I guess, like, basketball IQ through, all these years in the league. When you are able to have that command and kind of set that tone for the team, what do you think that kind of does for some of the younger players?
Yeah, well, I think it honestly makes it easier. Kelsey's been carrying a lot of weight for us, and so sometimes me being more aggressive lightens the load for her. Teams sometimes relax when they're like, oh, she's not 20 plus in the first half, but I think that, she's drawing so much attention that there's going to be times where I have to take the lead, and there's going to be times that Tori needs to take the lead, and Liz, and it's just everybody, and that's why we play team sports. You have to rely on one another. So I'm just glad to be, the head of the snake, where, my teammates trust me, and hopefully bring that energy every night that they can see, while I'm in front of them. As a point guard, defensively, I'm the first one stopping the ball. Offensively, they're the one I'm looking to. So I just got to be able to bring that every single night.
Yeah, Nalyssa, career high for you tonight, and I think both points and rebounds, a ton of huge plays, throwing the ball off a defender at the end, and clutch one. What did you feel like was clicking for you tonight? Was everything clicking? How did this performance all come together for you?
Just the will to win. I knew we could beat this team. So, when you just come into this environment, you got to just already have in your mindset that you're going to win this game. So, I tried to do everything with my team to help us win.
Seems like in some games you're more focused on the three, tonight more focused on attacking the rim. Is that a matchup thing? Is that a mentality thing? What drives you to take the shots that you do on a given night?
Honestly, what's falling for me, the three was falling and just going inside was falling. So I was just looking for, good opportunities to drive, and it was helping me.
A lot of scrappy moments in this game. You like games like that?
Scrappy, yeah. I mean, both teams want to win, so at the end of the day, it's going to be like that.
What were you told about the technical foul you were assessed? It seemed like you just got shoved and then got attacked.
Yeah, it's crazy. They said because I charged at her, I got attacked. But I was like, I got to defend myself. I can't just get pushed and stand there. And she said, well, when you charge at someone, we have to give you a tech. But They
Did that motivate you on the rest
they
of the
gonna
game?
pay for that though. I'm not paying for that. Someone else gotta pay for that.
Did that motivate you or your team the rest of the game? It felt like that was kind of a turning point for you guys.
I feel like the whole game we wanted to win, so little things like that you just can't let it get to you.
Next, go to Gabby.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. Nalyssa, just, down the stretch, your guys' overall defense, I feel like just took a big jump, especially from that third quarter. What were you guys kind of saying to each other on the court? I know defense has been kind of an inconsistent thing for you guys in the last few games. So just to kind of put that effort together, what were you guys talking about, and what was really going on the court for you?
We repeated our schemes a lot tonight, and I feel like just repeating everything and making sure everybody knew their assignments, I feel like that helped us a lot throughout the game. Whether we were switching or icing, I feel like with everybody vocalizing it and just speaking about it, it helped us.
And then to have, D-Rob just facilitate the way she did tonight, I think she had 6 assists.
Wow.
And also scored 16 points. Obviously her, veteran leadership continuously brings so much to you guys, but what about her tonight was really kind of flowing for you guys and really set up a lot of your offensive possessions?
Like I said, D-Rob wants to win just like all of us. So, she came out here and she just gave everything that she had. She got to the basket a lot, which was definitely helping her. And, she had a lot of great passes to help us out. And that helped us get this win.
Thank you.
Zion.
Nalyssa, it felt like you were playing with just so much confidence and aggression both tonight. Why'd you come out the way you did?
Like I said, I wanted to win. I woke up yesterday and I'm like, we got to get this one. You get so tired of losing. It's just the same feeling, the same speeches, the same talks. So you got to find something to motivate you. I wanted to win badly, so I had to do everything to help my team.
So now that you guys have snapped the losing streak, what is the significance of that going forward? How will this help you going forward?
Man, it's only up from here. We see what we could do. We just got to stay consistent and keep putting our foot on the gas.
Next we'll go over to Sue Faber.
Hey, hi, Nalyssa. Carlos mentioned that you're doing some things now that you wouldn't have done 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he and D-Rod both talked about your work ethic. How have you what have you learned over the last 4 weeks? I know there's probably a lot to learn once you get there as a rookie.
I learned you gotta stay in the gym, man. You just consistently gotta put up shots, work on your body, just making sure you're just keeping after all the small things. So I just constantly been in the gym, been shooting, been meditating, just making sure I'm in tune with myself.
Are there things that you guys are improving on, small things every day, every game or every day, that maybe we don't see from the outside?
Just our chemistry. For sure, our chemistry, just talking to each other better, learning how to communicate with each one of our teammates. And I feel like that's just helping us through the stretch.